So, check this out, people. I just finished watching Phil For Real's video, his last video where he says to vote yes for the stock split. I have to say that I'm starting to realize that the apes are starting to come to their senses when it comes to AMC. I noticed there's this huge divide among the apes. They're fighting amongst each other. They're disagreeing amongst each other. But I agree with a lot of what Phil For Real is saying. I do not agree with the stock split vote for yes, but I do agree with a lot of what he is saying. Because either way, whether there's a stock split or not, AMC is going to tank. If they don't do a stock split, your stocks are simply, the stock price for AMC is simply going to crash to zero, regardless of how many stocks you own, whether 1,000 or 100. And if they do the stock split and you lose half your shares, you're still going to lose more than half your money because the stock is still going to crash. But what I believe he's saying, and I could be wrong, is that doing something is better than doing nothing. So, even though he and I don't see eye to eye because of a past comment that he made about me, I have to agree with a lot of what Phil For Real says on his video where he says vote yes for the stock split. I don't agree on yes for the stock split, but I do agree on everything else. Also, out of all the people, out of all the YouTubers, out of everyone who was promoting AMC to the moon, out of all of the apes who at one point were promoting the MOAS, the ape father is the only one that seems to be making the most sense, which surprises me because I never believed that the ape father made any sense. I simply took his videos as stupid rhetoric, but the guy is making sense. He is making more sense than Tony De Niro, than Boss Blunt, than any other YouTuber has made since this bullshit about the MOAS began almost 3 years ago. And I also want to give a shout out to Frankie Muhammad because, again, even though I do not agree with Frankie Muhammad's believe in the MOAS or believe in AMC squeezing, he's been posting a lot of knowledgeable videos. He always does his presentation and his advice. The information that he gives is really informative, and I do learn a lot from what he has to offer. And though again I do not agree with a lot of what Frankie says or has said in the past, I am agreeing with a lot of what he's saying lately, because the apes are starting to realize that if you don't get mad, if you don't get angry, if you continue to follow this bullshit that keeps being sold on YouTube about AMC MOASing, about us becoming rich, about the next phase, then you're not going to get anywhere. Do you know what the legal definition of insanity is? Someone who keeps doing the same thing over and over and over again, getting the same results and still not changing his results. In order for things to change, you have to change. You have to change your mindset. You have to change your outlook. And if something doesn't work after you continuously beating on it constantly and constantly and constantly, and the outcome continues to be the same, then maybe you're the problem. And maybe The only way that things will change is if you change your tactics. I've never been for the MOAS, and I've never promoted AMC to the moon. Only a fool, only an idiot who doesn't know how to trade and who doesn't understand the market would repeat that nonsense. And so a lot of these YouTubers who were promoting AMC to the moon and promoting the MOAS had no idea how to trade, had no idea what it is they were saying. They were simply repeating what other YouTubers were saying, and they were jumping on the bandwagon. And after losing 90% of their investments, they're starting to change their narrative, and they're starting to change their mind about the MOAS, about AMC going to the moon, and most of them are now just hoping to get their money back. Unfortunately, it's too late for the Ape Father. It's too late for Phil For Real. It's too late for a lot of people who bought into this stock at a high price. And if you bought at AMC for more than $5 a share and didn't sell at a profit, then unfortunately, you're at a loss. Maybe not a huge loss, but count yourself lucky that you bought at the minimum and not at 50, 30, 20, because those who bought at those prices are not going to recover their losses, unfortunately. If I told you you would, I'd be lying to you. And the only way for you to recover your losses is to continue to, or rather not continue, but to start buying puts on AMC so that hopefully you can recover your losses. Because if a stock doesn't squeeze on the way up and you see it squeezing on the way down, why not invest on the way down? Why continue to buy the stock? Why continue to buy more shares on a stock that continues to plummet? When you buy the dip, the stock has to actually dip. Dip means go up and then come down. Go up and then come down. AMC hasn't dipped in over 2 years. It's simply tanked. It's time to start trading like a smart investor, like someone who wants to make money and not lose money. Start buying puts on AMC. Start buying puts on stocks that have continued to tank since the past 2 years. 2023 is not going to get no better. You got January, February, and March. Possibly the stock will start to recover come March of 2023, people. It's time to grow up. It's time to get off this bullshit with AMC to the moon. It's time to come back to earth. It's time to get your money, people. Get your money.